Hey guys, what's going on? This is Travis P11. I'd like to welcome you back to the channel. Well guys, about a year ago, I made a video entitled 2 Things to Look For Before You Buy Yourself a Jeep Cherokee XJ. And in that video, I mentioned 2 important items, the heater core, and then I also mentioned the leaf springs. And what I showed off on my Jeep last year was that the leaf springs were starting to sag, they were flexing. In fact, they're kind of sagging the wrong way, so the Jeep is losing some rear end ground clearance. And it also affects the front. So it's been about a year. I've got these leaf springs. These are Dorman springs that I bought off of Amazon. I paid, I think, about 120, 125 bucks a piece for them. They are starting to go up in price a little bit. So if you're thinking about buying replacement springs, whether you're going to do it yourself or have your mechanic do it, I'd say hurry up and go ahead and get them because the prices on these things are not going down. Now, I got lots of great feedback from people. I got a few criticisms on the video where people said, hey, you should just do the work yourself, or, you know, you're just a weenie for not taking it to your mechanic. Man, this thing happened about 2 days before I had to go back to work, and I was just not in the mood for taking my vehicle completely apart to get out the heater core. I don't care if it's a 1-hour job or a 3-hour job. I didn't have the time. So nor am I really comfortable working on suspension for vehicles. Part of it is I don't have some of the impact wrenches and tools and stuff that you need to remove the bolts, and there are some complications you can run into. So what I'll do is just give you a little ride height measurement before and after. The vehicle's going to go in 2 days, and just to let you know what kind of ride height you can expect to get restored on your vehicle once you replace the rear leaf springs. You can maybe do a measurement and see if your vehicle's sagging too. It's actually very easy to tell because my leaf springs on the back of the Jeep, as you're about to see, are basically flat. In fact, they're kind of curved the wrong way. They're bowing under the weight of the vehicle, which is not very good. It definitely affects the ride. I'm also going to be replacing the shocks with some Monroe, just basic gas-o-matic shocks. They're pretty close to what came with the vehicle when it was new. I have Monroe severe duty shocks on it right now, which I think might be one of the things that kind of limits the amount of ride travel that you get, or just the way that the shocks rebound, because it is a bit of a rough ride. So I'm hoping that those new Monroe shocks will kind of fix up the ride a little bit. Also, I was told by quite a few people, if you're going to do this job yourself or have your mechanic do it, start using this stuff, blaster, PB blaster, on the bolts that bolt the leaf springs into the frame of the vehicle. If you do that, it'll help unseize the bolts so that they don't snap when the mechanic or yourself is taking them off. Now, I've got just a few words about using this stuff, just some basic little bits of advice you want to take into consideration if you're going to use it, and we'll talk about that when we get out there and do a ride height measurement. So let's go ahead and get on over to the Jeep, and we will check it out and see what it looks like right now. Okay, stay tuned. Here we go. Okay, guys, so as you can see, the leaf springs here, they're kind of flexing the wrong way. There's like no arch support on these things. They're just basically flat. I don't even know if you can tell, but they're not going the way that they're supposed to go, so that's a very bad sign. Top of the tire to the top of the fender well. You know, just kind of going at an angle here. Maybe, I don't even know, man, maybe 2 inches if I'm lucky. You know, so it's really not a decent amount of height. The other problem I run into is if you put any weight in the back of the vehicle, it can rub on the fender wells, and it actually did it last winter when I had a load full of groceries and stuff when we were coming back from the store. And so definitely one thing. Now right now there's only about 20 pounds worth of weight in the back of this thing, and so it's definitely not a good thing. Here, let's back up a little bit. Let's take a look at it so you can see. So if you got that going on, you got some problems. Now granted, I'm on a slight incline in my driveway, but we'll definitely park it in the same place. Just a few words about the PB blaster stuff. Okay, first of all, this stuff smells kind of like a combination of peppermint and diesel, and you get it on you, it just really does not come off. I pretty much have to take a shower to get the vapor or whatever comes off the parts that I'm spraying off me. It is kind of pungent, so I wouldn't recommend spraying it in your garage. Definitely do it outside. It is very runny. They tell you just basically to drip the parts, to just soak the parts. And you can see where right here, under here, I did some spraying. And I did that on both sides, all over the place. In fact, I went into the frame underneath where the hole is to hit the right side of that bolt so that it definitely saturates in there. So I've been doing that for a little bit. It's going to drip off, it's going to drip in your driveway, and it's also going to stain your driveway with, I don't know if it's some of the rust that it takes off with it or if it's just because it's a grease. It kind of disappears a little bit, but do plan on staining your driveway, so you might want to do it out in the street, and definitely do it someplace where you got plenty of fresh air, because the vapors are going to go all over the place, so just be careful when you're using it. Alright, let's do a quick little ride height measurement on the other side. Now, so granted, you've got fender wells that are up here. Okay, so the tire is going to go up into the fender well, but you also run the risk of having the outside of the tire rub on the inside of this portion of your fender. And right here, again, we're looking at just kind of looking straight across. You know, maybe 2 inches of ground clearance, 1 3/4. So not a big deal, but this is just kind of an indicator for you guys to check and see. And you can see how this leaf spring over here, if I can zoom in on that, it's kind of, it's flexing this way, okay? Instead of being arced, it's definitely going the wrong way. So something that you want to look at, okay? So you can see I won this back there also. Not giving you a lot of detail, but then under here also you can see where I did some spraying. Right there too. So yeah, we got a little bit of rust going on, but that's typical for a vehicle like this. So what I'll do is I'll come back in a couple days and we'll take a measurement, see if it's any better, hopefully gain a couple inches of ground height, clearance, and definitely see if the rear end on it pops up at all. Should also affect the front end a little bit too, from what I've been told, just the overall rake or angle of it. So love driving it, got to keep it going. So we'll come back in a few days and we'll check in. All right, hang tight, guys. Okay guys, once again it is windy. I want to apologize for any wind noise, but just got back from the mechanic shop. We got the Jeep back and it did a significant lift in the front and the back. So just kind of show you the side profile. That's the new springs. That is not with a factory lift kit on there. That is just with brand new shocks and new rear springs. It took them a lot of work to get those installed. I guess it was a major pain to get the bolts out, but they did not break. But again, definitely have a little bit of arch there now, which is awesome. So talking about the amount of space here, we barely had 2 inches from what I could see, basically from here to here. So let's see what kind of a difference it makes. Yeah, there we go. When the mechanic did a measurement before and after on the ride height, he said it did increase 4 inches in the rear end and a couple inches up in the front, so that's a good thing. So if you want to add 3 inches of height to the rear of your Jeep, just go ahead and put new springs on it if it needs it. But again, these are the Dorman leaf springs. Got those from Amazon for 120, 125 bucks a piece, and I'll put the links in the description box of the video down below for you. Got the Monroe OE Spectra shocks. Did add maybe about an inch or so, just because of the rake and the overall rake of the vehicle. You definitely can feel the angle when you're sitting inside the vehicle now, which is fine with me. So anyway guys, this is Travis P11. I want to thank you for watching. Do not hesitate if you've got a saggy rear suspension in your Jeep. Definitely get it taken care of. Can you do it yourself? You know, if you got the time, the patience, if you've got the tools, go right ahead. This just wasn't something I felt like I could do myself. So, all right, guys, that's it. Thanks for joining us. Please like or subscribe. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can also check me out on gunchannels.com. Got a Saturday morning podcast called Caliber Corner. Do check it out. You can support me over on Patreon, patreon.com/TravisP11. So, guys, that's it. I want you to have fun. I want you to be safe. And as you know, we will talk to you soon. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.